And we're back, the Mighty Dish and I, having disabled some of the eye candy, namely the cranes and I think cranes and towers in Orbx's Southern California terrain region. Let's see if that fixes some of the problems. So we're on the ground at Burbank, and we're just going to get airborne here, do a magnificent chandelle on the way out, and climb as quickly as our little Pratt & Whitney P150A engines will take us. So here we go. Matter of fact, let's set max takeoff power. Come on out of here in style. See if there's any improvement in the frame rate as we come on over the valley and towards Santa Monica and LA. So up we go. The chandelle is a max performance climbing turn, about like so, and we're just going to pitch for our stalling speed. The aim here is to gain as much altitude as possible as we come around 180 degrees and basically pop out exactly reciprocal of the runway, and as you can see, about 3,200 feet above it. And there is the runway as we roll out right there. Bring up some flaps. Bring back some props. Settle ourselves in and see whether our frame rates have improved a little bit. So let's come on down. We'll shoot across the west side of LA again. Turn my flight director to standby. There's no reason to look at it. Out comes the power. And already it seems to be a little bit better. We'll see as we get closer. Guess right at barber pole speed there. That is the fabulous Wilshire Country Club, if I'm not mistaken.
2,500.
And I think this is helping a little bit. For some reason, rendering lots and lots of cranes in harbors is difficult for prepared or FSX. Let's turn our terrain inhibit off, or on, sorry. And we are coming down over the Century City Mall here. And there's still some pauses as we load scenery.
Traffic. Monitor vertical speed.
Yeah, the only traffic we're going to hit is automobile traffic.
Clear of conflict.
Thank you. Alright, we're down to 14 frames a second, so that's not good.
1,000.
Traffic.
And I'm not sure why it's showing traffic, because we don't have any traffic set. Pull our props back. We'll do another low pass here. And you can see we still have the blurries.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
No, just low enough terrain.
Too low.
There,
Terrain.
it pops into focus.
Too low. Terrain. Too low.
Let's
Terrain.
kiss our gear down here. Do the world's fastest touch and go.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Bank angle.
And there's the famous golf course. And we'll cut across LAX again. They probably won't like that. Well, it's rendering more stuff now. But it's got a lot of stuff to render. I mean, there are a lot of terrain features here. A lot of stuff. And I've got most of the settings cranked pretty far up. Alright, this time that's Manhattan Beach over there, the power plant. And there is LAX. It all looks great. It really does. But it is going to be a challenge to fly around in. I mean, look at the level of detail that it's drawing those city streets, and a lot of trees, a lot of objects, a whole lot of objects. Let's see if the port looks any better. I don't think I disabled cranes. I think I disabled everything but the cranes. It could be that the cranes are the problem. We'll find out soon enough. Alright, we'll bother them again in Torrance. Torrance is where you land in Pilot Edge after doing your V3, wherein you take off from John Wayne and then you transit the LA Bravo airspace through one of two routes, the coastal or the mini. Actually, you'd have to do both, I think. So you do the mini first on the way up, which is a little bit inland, and then you turn around, you do the coastal back, which takes you right around this way, and then you come into land right here at Zamperini Field. Now, we're really being unfair here in the sense that we're going to go very, very fast and very, very low over terrain, so it's really going to put a strain on any kind of terrain loading. You ordinarily would fly in considerably slower than this, so you wouldn't be heaving so much stuff through your field of view, but we're not being fair. Let's just try and scrape the belly of the mighty dish here.
Too low. Terrain. Pull up.
Oh, I will,
Too
just
low.
not too
Terrain.
soon.
Too low. Terrain.
Ooh, that could screw us because we're
Terrain.
loading terrain just as we should be maneuvering.
Too low. Terrain.
Try not to strike a wingtip here.
Too low. Terrain.
Read the Torrance sign coming over us.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Yeah.
Too low. Terrain.
Let's go under the other Long Beach Bridge this time.
Too low. Terrain.
Oh, the
Too
joys
low.
of hand
Terrain.
flying.
Too low. Terrain.
Okay, so there's the Port of Los Angeles off
Too low.
to our
Terrain.
right. And I think I took those
Too
cranes
low.
down.
Terrain.
Still
Too
have the
low.
oil bunkers
Terrain.
there. And that golf course is accurate. I
Terrain.
can attest to that, having played it.
Too low. Terrain. Terrain.
And we're going to find in a minute whether the bridge can be flown under.
Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
What was the
Too
rule
low.
in Flight
Terrain.
Simulator? If you don't want to be disappointed with the scenery, don't try and find your house.
Too low. Terrain.
But this is pretty good. You can find at least
Too low.
enough
Terrain.
landmarks to navigate VFR easily.
Too
So
low.
we're just in
Terrain.
level flight here, and we're going to go under the bridge whose name escapes
Too
me.
low. Terrain.
I hope it's not a solid piece of
Too
scenery.
low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
I might have cut this a little too fine.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Let's try not to dig in a wingtip here.
Too low.
It's built for the
Terrain.
tallest ships, so I think it can handle us.
Too low. Terrain.
And we'll just come up over Long Beach. I think it's a little better without the cranes. And let's see what else there is to explore. Oh, that's the Queen Elizabeth. I think I might have... Yeah, I might have removed the ship, which I didn't really want to do. Alright, so again, that's Long Beach Airport. This time we'll approach John Wayne from the other side, from like Huntington Beach. Take runway 2 left. And this airplane is so nice to hand fly. Okay, so there's Seal Beach, and there's the whatever that nature preserve is there. Some sort of wetlands deal. I know somebody who lives right around there, right on this side of it, right about here. Actually, here. It's remarkable, the amount of detail. It's also remarkable the amount of scenery that's loading. Yeah, our frame rates are all over the place now, and that's John Wayne coming up in the distance. So we'll get ourselves into a left base. Actually climb a little bit. And maybe we'll do a more graceful turn to final than the last time. Let's come down off the power. Set up our props. Slow ourselves down. Yep, the black buildings of Santa Ana. Just come up to about 1,500 feet here. And that is the Pacific Coast Highway down there. Rendered pretty nicely. But boy, this thing is heavy on frames. Unless I'm doing something terribly wrong, which I might be. But boy, does it look like Southern California. It really, they've just got the mix of colors and objects and little cues just right. find the field. But even my computer, which is reasonably beefy, is fighting hard to stay in the game here. Nice eye candy. Alright, so the runway's going to be roughly... There it is. There are El Papis. I think we make the turn right around this neck of the harbor, coming off to the left, right about there. That should do us. Drop the gear. Give us a little more juice. Put in our flaps. And come on in to land. Flaps 15. Yeah, it's a little bit hinky with the frames. Lose some power. Walk the trim up a little bit here. Ah, I hate that little pillar right there. Lose a little more speed. Ah, 'tis a beautiful thing. Get ourselves on short final. And we are stable.
Plus 100. Plus 100. Minimums. Minimums.
Landing. Looks good. Looks really good. Everything blends in very
100.
nicely.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Little twitch there on the landing, entirely my fault. Alright, so the frames are a little bit better, but still nothing to write home about. I get the feeling if we're not just tooling around but actually flying in on an approach, it'll be a little bit better. Let's just see what the replay looks like here. In other words, if it doesn't have to draw absolutely everything very fast from a short distance, it probably will be better. There we are, just hanging in the sky. Pretty stable. The mighty dish. I don't know why. I always like landings better than takeoffs. A lot of objects to draw. Let's see if I overflare it. I think I do. Yeah, a little bit. that is that. Wow, look at that. Little animation there. Everything looks really good. So, that's part 2 of Southern California. And I'll keep experimenting, and I'll get back to you if I can figure out how to juice up the performance a little bit more. In the meantime, do all the normal things with the likes and the don't likes and the subscribes and all that, and I'll see you again real soon.